Hi everyone, welcome to Soul Strength Tarot. We're going to do the Mercury Retrograde videos for each sign. Mercury Retrograde is happening from February 17th to March 9th. My advice to you when you watch your video is to take notes, okay? Write down what comes through. One of the main cards that we're going to pull and then we're going to be talking about in your reading will be an archetype card. An archetype is a way of thinking. It is a pattern of thoughts, patterns of behavior, motivations that you apply in your everyday life. When I pull this card, the intention is that this is going to be something that serves you over the next 3 weeks as you move through whatever the events are that will unfold for you. Everyday events unfold in our lives, right? But this particular archetype is going to be a source of power for you. It's going to be something that makes your 3 weeks go smoother. It's going to be the type of energy that is going to grow you the most and the fastest in these 3 weeks. So Spirit will deliver whatever it is that you need to have in mind. So you're going to want to write that down. I'm going to pull some higher wisdom cards from the Rebecca Campbell decks. All right, so we have the Starseed deck and the Lightworker deck. And then we're going to be pulling tarot to get more specific themes. We're going to pull some angel messages and maybe a prayer card as well. We'll see what comes up. In each reading, it might be a little bit different because I do this based on one circumstance at a time. So we'll see what comes up, but you're going to want to take notes because the really cool thing, and it's something that I do in my own tarot practice, is that I write down what comes up in a reading. And then over the next 3 weeks, you're going to look at what you wrote down. You're going to, even just if you start each morning off, looking at what you wrote down, kind of have it fresh in your head so that as the day unfolds, you have these energies like ready to be used when necessary, right? Or when something shows up, when a situation arises, somebody says something to you, you kind of know, okay, this kind of goes with the themes this week. I'll embrace it, right? And you're going to operate from a higher perspective and a higher sense of self. And then when those 3 weeks are over, look back again at your notes and you'll really be able to actually pinpoint the situations and relationships that brought these moments in the cards to life in your everyday life. And it's really awesome to see how it shows up. It always shows up. So I think you'll have a lot of fun with that. So I invite you to take that opportunity to take notes as you listen to your reading. And I wish you a wonderful retrograde season with lots of growth, lots of good stuff. And it's nothing to be thinking of negatively, right? We hear Mercury retrograde and people tend to be like, oh my gosh, everything goes wonky. And in reality, that's not what retrograde is at all. It's really a time for us to go over some lessons that we need to go over because we're all learning all the time and none of us are getting it right all the time. And not only that, but as we evolve, we're going to revisit lessons that we've already been met with, challenges that we've already experienced, and we're going to now handle them from a higher version of ourselves, right? We're going to have more wisdom to apply. So Mercury retrograde is always kind of an opportunity to tie up loose ends, to revisit things that need your attention, and so apply the highest version of yourself to some old situations or old challenges that have come up for you in the past. So it's actually an awesome opportunity. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Hi Taurus, let's get started with your reading. We're going to start with your archetype card. And like I said in the intro, your archetype is, the archetypes are the behavior patterns, thoughts, mindsets, motivations that we work with, okay? This can come up as something that you want to work with and tap into an empowering energy over the next 3 weeks. It also could be the theme that you're actually going to be working on during this retrograde season, okay? It could be the mindset. It could be a way of being and a way of showing up in the world that Spirit wants to call your attention to, because if you attend to it and you work through it, you're going to access the highest version of it, okay? Because every archetype has a light and a dark to it, all right? Okay, so 2 just flew out at me. And you are getting the Rebel and the Damsel. Really interesting, total yin and yang opposite energies, which is funny. So we'll talk about what these mean. Okay, so the Rebel challenges authority to affect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Okay, so the rebel is somebody who's a super independent thinker, right? A rebel is somebody who bucks the system, who does not, sit down when told if they don't believe in it, right? A rebel really kind of lives by their own internal motivation and what they believe is important, what their priorities are, despite what society or anybody else really thinks, okay? So a rebel is somebody who's super independent. And in the light, when we use the rebel in the light, this is really about creating positive change for others because a rebel takes courage. A rebel is a really courageous archetype because they're willing to stand up for what's right. It's kind of like an activist, somebody who's willing to say what needs to be said, to defy the rules, to create positive change. The shadow rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. So the shadow rebel is somebody who is being defiant and being angry and being difficult just for the sake of it because it feeds their ego. That's how I perceive the rebel archetype when it's used in the dark, okay? So what we want to keep in mind for this retrograde season is to make sure if you are feeling the urge to do your own thing or to change things up or to not do what's expected of you in some capacity, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure that there is a higher purpose to what you're doing that's beyond just serving you. And not that just serving yourself isn't important at times. I just feel like don't do it to impress somebody. Don't do it because you dislike somebody. Like really kind of have a good reason to do it, okay? And then we have the damsel. So the damsel's light attributes say understanding the nature of healthy romance. It inspires you to rely on yourself. Interesting. Okay. And then the shadow is waiting for a knight to provide for you seduction by romantic illusion. So a damsel is so the opposite of the rebel card. So this is really an interesting message that I'm getting. I feel like Spirit is letting you know to be independent, okay? We're getting this idea, a damsel is literally a helpless female in stories and literature throughout the centuries. A damsel in distress is somebody who needs to be rescued. And it's one thing to connect with somebody and have somebody come into your life that provides and adds to your life and makes it wonderful. But it's a whole nother ballgame when you're waiting to be rescued, right? You're giving your power out of yourself. You're giving it to somebody else. You are just really, that's a mindset of weakness, okay? And that you don't have enough self-belief, and none of us want to exist with a lack of self-belief. So it's so interesting that you're getting the damsel and the rebel, because I feel like the message here is that you do need to be more independent. You don't need somebody to come in and save you. You are most certainly capable of creating whatever the positive change is in your life without somebody having to step in and do it for you. So I feel like already your Mercury retrograde, Taurus, is going to be a focus on independence, self-reliance, trusting in yourself, having confidence in yourself. And while you welcome people to add to your life and you welcome really good connections and maybe some romance, if this is a relationship issue, you might want to be with a person, but you don't need to be with a person. There's a difference. A want and a need is different, and that's a really powerful distinction to make, okay? So if there's a relationship in your life that has you stressed or has you feeling powerless, if somebody has come back into your life that was gone for a while and they kind of put you in this headspace of you're waiting for them to call, you're dying to talk to them, you're hoping they want to hang out with you, whatever the case is, it's not healthy for you. So you're going to need to actually spend this time like taking your power back and being like, hey, it's nice to see you, but I'm happy whether you're here or not, right? I make my own happiness. So we want to get that like kick butt attitude of I can handle myself and you are not in charge of my happiness, okay? All right, let's see what's coming through from our Starseed deck. We have wait. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. Okay, so this is a card where Spirit is letting you know that something's going on behind the scenes for you. And you could see the artwork on these cards is so beautiful. So it's almost like she is, it kind of like looks like it's not the earth, I don't think, but it's almost like the way the clouds are in that circle. It's almost like she's outside of the earth and really maybe outside of the whole galaxy. And she's just like looking in as things are happening inside there, that it's not her time to go into it yet. All right. So there's something you're being told to wait on. There's something that, you know, if there's any decisions that need to be made in the next 3 weeks, hold off on making a decision. Don't commit to anything right now. Keep that independence, right? That rebel spirit of not making a decision yet, okay? And a lot of times that is really good practice for any Mercury retrograde because of the way the energy is. They just say it's a really good time to not commit to anything big. So this is a validation of that, all right? We don't, you know, they say don't make big purchases, don't sign contracts. I was really worried years ago when we bought our house. I was like looking at the calendar praying that the closing was not going to happen during a Mercury retrograde, because then it would be up for debate and it wouldn't be a solid contract for a long time. So Spirit is telling you to wait. So we have the messages so far of independence, standing up for yourself, bucking the system when necessary for a really good cause, okay? Not just doing what's expected of you to make others happy. And we're going to wait on something. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. So Council of Light is coming through. It says divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. All right, Taurus, I don't know what's going on for you, but your angels are totally letting you know that they are just aligning things for you and working on your behalf right now to get things in a place that's going to serve your highest good. So, I mean, those are two totally synchronistic messages right there, right? We have the wait. So things are being prepped for you. Something is going on. It is not that time yet. Things are being woven, and now you have this Council of Light. These are the ascended masters, right? These are all of the heavenly angels, the highest people that are doing something, something up in heaven right now that's going to serve you. So you need to trust. If you have been stressed over making a decision or trying to create a change in your life or trying to figure yourself out, this is a message of we've got you. We know what your heart wants. We know where you need to be headed, and we're working on it. Sit tight, be you, do you, but like don't do anything drastic right now because we are working on things that you have no idea about yet. That is a promise to me, most definitely, of there's some kind of magic up ahead for you, some kind of divine orchestration at work here that's going to be amazing and be wonderful. Like you do not have to stress, you do not have to worry. Definitely don't make any decisions with that rebel personality of, you know what, I hate this job, I hate my boss, I'm quitting, goodbye, right? Don't be that kind of a rebel right now. Spirit is letting you know, like, we are taking care of things, so you need to stay where you're at, stay status quo, control your ego in case there's anybody in your life that you kind of want to flare up at, and end something or like rock the boat right now because you can't take it anymore. Wait on that too. So if there are conversations that you want to have that, you know, are going to come from a place of frustration or anger, or maybe they, you know, somebody insults you or just makes you, like, just really triggers you, try to just hold off because I don't think now's the right time. I think that you just need to really monitor and kind of like watch yourself. Step lightly because you think to yourself, you have to think to yourself, when is it worth it for me to stir the pot, right? When is it worth it for me to say the things that I might want to say? Like, what's the outcome going to be? What kind of drama am I going to, create for myself? And you are going to be relying on yourself. So you don't want to create any situations that will make it hard for you to rely on yourself because you have this damsel energy coming through, and the shadow in the damsel is relying on somebody else to take care of you. So if you're going to operate from the higher level damsel, it's going to be a self-sufficiency. So when you're making your decisions in your conversations or, anything that's related to any life changes, you really are going to want to do that from a place of really being sure. And I think that right now, Spirit is letting you know that now isn't the time to make any big decisions. Okay. And that's not a bad thing. So we're going to sit tight in this energy. You're going to work on self-control. You're going to work on perspective. All right. So we got the 10 of Cups coming up. We have the Eight of Wands coming up reversed. You know, I wasn't going to read reversals, but I am tonight, I think. We have the Five of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Four, no, where are we at? Oh, the Nine of Swords. I'm reading upside down when they come out reversed. And then we have the Page of Coins. Okay. So first of all, we're getting the Ten of Cups. So this is in relation to relationships, some type of family or relationship here, okay? Definitely something feels stuck for you, I think, because the Eight of Wands reversed is... Oops, I just dropped it. I'm not even going to pick it up right now. The Eight of Wands reversed is a lack of forward movement. Okay, this is a feeling of stuck energy because the Eight of Wands normally is like forward progress and change. In a reverse position, it's indicating things are not changing. And in fact, I would believe that potentially in a relationship of yours, you're having a lot of conflict. So we have this feeling of being stuck, not seeing any change. Five of Wands, conflicting viewpoints, conflicting opinions, really conflicting goals, okay? Because Wands is representative of moving forward and like doing creation with passion and fire. It's the element of fire. So it's really an intense energy. And when we have that Five of Wands, there's really some type of conflict occurring in belief systems, in goals, okay? There might be people that want to stop you from where you're headed. They might not want you to succeed. They might not want you to go off on your own. They, you know, if this is job related and you've been thinking of leaving your job, that could be the conflict here. If it's relationship related, it could be different goals where you see yourself and know what you want in one way and your other half sees something different, okay? You know, coming up after that though, that Six of Wands shows up. And Six of Wands is victory. So this is very much overcoming a challenge. The Six of Wands shows up when you have finished this Five of Wands, okay? This is definite victory. Whatever it is that's dredging up that rebel archetype that's making you want to say like, nope, I quit, I'm not doing it your way. Whatever this is, you are going to be victorious over this energy. And it's really validating, right? When we feel like we need to rebel, like there's a reason for that, right? We don't want to rebel unless we see an injustice or we feel an injustice or we feel like we're treated unfairly. That's when we want to rebel. So it makes sense to me that, you know, you have that Five of Wands coming up. There's why you want to rebel. Whatever the situation is, you know, it's valid that you have the feelings that you want to have, right? But that Six of Wands is definite victory. This is definitely like, this situation is going to be resolved, but I think that you need to remember it's going to be resolved through your angels as well as yourself. This isn't something that you're forcing. This isn't something where you have to figure this out on your own. Pray about it, write about it, journal about it. Be open, okay? Because your helpers on the other side are making things, they're arranging things for you so that by the time this victory shows up, things might look a little different, right? Like right now you might have in your head, I don't know how to solve where I'm at. I don't know how to get from this point to the point where I want to be. I don't see a direct, clear path. Well, they're saying, relax, we're forming your path for you, okay? You don't have to see the clear path right now. You have a incredibly limited perspective as a human being. So we got you, but you have to sit tight and you have to wait and you have to relax. If the situation that's creating this Five of Wands conflict energy for you is related to this idea of feeling like you're dependent on somebody else, this damsel energy of feeling like, you know, you're kind of at their whim, like you know who you want to be, you know what you want your life to look like, but then they're kind of like in control of you and making you feel like you don't have the resources or the ability to take care of yourself, you're going to shift your energy. It doesn't require you to shift anything in your life, okay? Here's the thing about energy. You have to shift on the inside and your outside world will reflect that, right? So the minute you access the highest power of understanding a healthy relationship and just not accepting anything different, you're going to access that highest power of the damsel, okay? When you really start to operate from a place of, I know exactly who I am. I know what I deserve. I don't need any justification. I don't need to earn it from you. I don't need your approval. And in fact, I don't need your money or your attention to have the life that I want. Now you upgrade, right? Your energy goes whoosh, your self-esteem system skyrockets, and all of the outside limitations that you perceive right now are going to go away. Suddenly there's solutions where there weren't any before. It's like hidden in plain sight. There's solutions to every problem. There is a way out of every single situation. We can't see it until we're ready to see it. So you're going to be working on self-esteem, I think, the next 3 weeks. You're going to be accessing a power inside you where you're like, wait a second, this list of behaviors to me is unacceptable, right? I know where I want to head, right? I want my 8 of Wands to be like this. I want to be heading into that light. I want forward progress on what my heart desires for my life, okay? I get the vibe this is very much a relationship reading for you. I know where I'm headed and what I really, really want. You're blocking me. You're trying to make it all about you. You're not honoring my needs. You're not, supporting me. You don't really, do you even know me? Do you even really see me? And when you can put your foot down and just stand in your power, you don't need to break up with somebody. You don't need to end it. All you need to do is the inside work on lifting yourself up, okay? And then you're going to be right here. You're going to be standing on the mountain with your big gold, beautiful laurel wreaths. I don't even know what those are, those leaves, but those are like golden victory, right? And that golden victory is from heaven. You are going to raise your self-esteem. And how do I know this is true? Because your next card is the reverse 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords is absolute torture. Okay, 9 of Swords, you see like the Grim Reaper looking in. It's like she's in the coffin. She's like just miserable. Surrounded by these swords are thoughts and our analyzing and worrying and just over and over and over, all up in our head, negative energy. This is being tortured by our thoughts. This is just nonstop replaying things in your head and wishing things were different, feeling powerless, feeling exhausted, like you can't shut your brain off. You wish things were different. It's like, what is he thinking? What is she thinking? Why did they do that? What if I could go back and make it, and it's just like that in your head agony. Yours is reversed. That's done, okay? So if this is something that has been plaguing you where it's constantly worrying and it's constant just all constantly thinking and agonizing, it's the best way I could put it, that is coming to an end, okay? Because that is showing up right after this 6 of Wands, okay? So you're getting victory, and this whole pattern of thinking, worrying, and being in basic, just torturous state of mind, it's coming to an end. And then you have the reverse Page of Coins. Now, the Page of Coins to me is like something new, something abundant. It's almost here. A reverse page is like the energy isn't fully here yet. That brand new, shiny thing isn't totally here yet. But there is something that's coming up ahead, okay? So for this Mercury retrograde, we are focusing on self-esteem and self-confidence for you, Taurus. You are going to sit tight in a place of faith, understanding that you don't have to align anything in your outer reality. You don't have to make any big life changes, make any decisions. You don't have to end anything, quit anything. What you need to do is focus inside your heart, and you need to focus, and even there, right here, we have the Rebel card is the heart chakra green, and then we have the Damsel, the sacral chakra orange, okay? So we're doing that self-esteem work and connecting to our heart. This is all internal for you for Mercury retrograde. You are going within inside yourself. You are operating from a place of absolute faith that heaven is on your side, working things out. You're just gonna wait. And you are going to trust that the situation that you're in is going to shift when you shift on the inside. So you are writing affirmations. You are coming up with new mantras. You are doing some soul work. If you need to meditate, go to yoga, go to sound healing classes, go get energy healing done. Whatever you need to do to help yourself access a more balanced, positive, powerful energy about yourself, that is what you're focusing on Mercury retrograde, okay? Because whatever the nonsense is that you're dealing with right here, heaven sees it, and heaven's like, yeah, this isn't for you. Whatever this relationship is, it's not serving you right now. Now, whether or not it ends up in a new relationship, I'm not really sure, because this Page of Coins could be a new relationship, but it's showing up upside down reversed. So I don't know if you're going to have a new relationship or if this relationship that you're in is actually just going to evolve into a better state. Okay. And that could happen too. So I'm not saying that it's an ending, but I am saying that there's something inside you that has to be worked through in order to shift it to a more healthy vibration. Because you don't deserve to be stuck in this torture right here, right? You don't deserve to be up at night worrying, agonizing over anybody else, over what you said, what you didn't say, what they said, how they said it, why they say it, right? All these things that we do to ourselves, you don't deserve it, so it is going to be ending, but it will only end when you do this work, okay? So you're going to focus on yourself. You are going to build yourself up. That's it. From the inside out. So practice self-love. Practice, whatever it is that works for you, Taurus, to make yourself feel good about yourself and love yourself. That is your mission for this Mercury retrograde. I wish you so much luck. I hope that in the next 3 weeks, when this is all done, you are standing on the other side and you are feeling just super powerful, super confident in who you are, super sure of yourself, and with a whole new perspective. And I think then you might see this 8 of Wands shift into that forward progress that you're looking for. So heaven is on your side, and have no doubt. You're being supported. So just sit tight and work on your heart. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you like this content and you'd like to see more of it. Bye-bye.